I kind of knew that I just wanted to pursue things that made me happy and things that I really enjoyed doing. Hey, I'm Abby. Come take a tour. The sink in the van is repurposed. My uncle and I went to the junkyard kind of looking to see what we could find to use as a sink. We found this industrial sized coffee maker. This 2-burner propane stovetop that's from Amazon. It's just a brand that I found online. I really like it. I usually only cook on this burner. Honestly, there's no reason that I use this one more than this one. They're the same, but this one's closer to me. And so it's just more convenient and I like it. And I have a 5-gallon propane tank. Can usually go about 2 months between filling it up, and I do cook about 3 times a day. I also have a cabinet right here. This holds a lot of my glassware, my silverware, things like that, just a normal kitchen drawer. So that's in there. I have my pots and pans in the cabinet underneath the sink. I also keep like dish rags, coffee, oatmeal, things that I use every single day. My kettle, just easy access items are underneath the sink. And then all of my pantry food is in this cabinet right here. It's really easy access. Again, I added these gas struts so the cabinet stays open. And then I also have my 12-volt fridge underneath for all of my refrigerated items and fruit and things like that that I can't keep in the dry storage. Underneath the bench are 2 very important things in the van. The first is I have a Nature's Head composting toilet. That was one of my non-negotiables getting into the van, and it's very easy to clean. The other thing that's under the bench is Marv's crate. I had him before I moved into the van, and it was really important to me that he had a space in my van where he felt really safe and like comfortable and that it was his home. I work full-time while I live on the road, and it was really important to me when I built the van to have a space that was dedicated for work. I don't like working from my bed, so when I built out the van, I really wanted to have a big bench that I could use for work, to lounge, to relax. I also built a table by asking this girl who was building her van how she built the table. She responded to my DM and then met up a full year later in person, and she's one of my really good friends to this day. So as you're building out your van, or if you're thinking about building out a van, reach out to people, because people are so willing to help and give you advice and tips and tricks, and you just never know who's going to be like a good friend to you down the road. All of this is called 80/20 from a factory that my uncle was at and had access to like deconstruct all this material, and he had it in his workshop. So we ended up using it. And then I have an outlet, which is really helpful because when I'm working, it allows me to charge my computer, to plug in my Starlink, to have power on this side of the van so that I'm not having to go to a power station on the other side. I also have this cabinet. This is kind of like a toiletry hobby, random things that live in this cabinet, but it's things that I use every day. Put latches on your upper cabinets. When I first built the van, I did not put these on, and I cannot tell you the amount of times that things just went flying out of the cabinet. Hey, I'm Abby. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. My childhood was a little touch and go there. I was diagnosed with cancer when I was really young and lived with cancer, lived with that experience until I was in college. And there are just some things that I wanted to see that I think when you are forced to look at your life and realize that it's really short and that like you don't have endless time and endless opportunity to do what you can do in the body that you have now. I kind of knew that I just wanted to pursue things that made me happy and things that I really enjoyed doing. So this is my bed. It is a little bit under a queen size. I ended up buying a foam mattress, like a custom foam mattress. It's 8 inches. It's actually the most comfortable thing that I've slept on. These are just clothes that I don't wear that often, or they're like seasonal. So these are my insulated coveralls for when I'm really cold. And then in this one is like sweaters, dresses, going out outfits if I have somewhere I need to go to on the town. It's really nice to have these just kind of like away from my normal closet space, but have a designated space. I also have cubbies on this side of the bed. There's a board missing in one of the cubbies, and it's because I accidentally kicked it out while I was sleeping one night. I keep a lot of clothes in my van. I have this door, which opens up again with a latch, like please latch your doors. This opens up fully, and it has like my hats and coats and things like that in it. This is a false drawer front because my closet actually goes down a little bit further so that all of my clothes can hang like without being smushed. I also have drawers for my socks, t-shirts, shorts. There's 4 drawers on the bottom, and the very bottom one is for my shoes. It was also important to me that everything in the van had a space and somewhere that it could be put away, and I wouldn't have to worry about it just like being kind of loose in the van, because this is a small space and it's better when everything's a little bit tidier. So this is kind of my like control hub for all my power in the van. This one is for my heater, which I just got installed this past year. I really recommend it. This is obviously just a standard outlet for anything I may need to use in the kitchen, but all my 12-volt power is here. It also has USB ports for charging my phone or anything that has USB power. My van I bought in 2021. It was $28,000. It's a 2015 Ford Transit with a diesel engine. And then my build, I originally budgeted to spend only about $7,500 on the build. I ended up spending $9,000 on my full build. So a lot of my build is upcycled, found from a junkyard and repurposed. When I did my build, I really wanted to make sure that I could access my plumbing. So I have 2 panels on the backside of my kitchen that open in both directions. They have gas struts, which are really strong. They're kind of hard to close, but it makes this a really great table. So if I'm sitting out here, I can put my coffee or food or whatever. And it serves a double purpose of being able to get to my gray water tank, which is right here. And when it's full, I can easily pull it out and dump it at a dump station. I also have a propane box that cases my propane tank, and it's vented through the floor so that if any propane leaks, then it will not be in the van and poisoning me. The garage is actually my favorite part of my van build. There's a ton of functionality to the garage. I have a lot of stuff that I wanted to carry, like my bike, I have a paddle board, I have my backpacking and camping gear. That's all within this shelving unit. I also have a bunch of tools because things go wrong on the road, and I like to be able to fix it if it's not like super serious, or if I'm capable, then I like to fix it. So I keep all of that stuff in the back. I keep a hose to fill up my water tank and my batteries back here. My van has 400 watts of solar on the roof. It's 4 panels of 100 watts from Renergy. It all is pulled down into a Renergy charge controller, and then I have a 1,500 watt inverter. So I can use that for powering things like my laptop or anything that has like a house plug. I can use the inverter for. I also have upgraded the batteries 2 different times. So I started out with 200 amp hours of deep cycle batteries and learned in the process of living on the road that deep cycle batteries do not discharge their total amperage. So if you have 100 amp hours on a deep cycle battery, realistically, you're only going to be able to use about 50 of that deep cycle. So I upgraded to a lithium 200 amp hour battery, which gave me a lot more power. But again, as the seasons change and as you're in the van, when there's less light during the day, especially during the winter, the sun is not up as long as it is in the summer, I tend to use more power more quickly in that time. So I recently just added another 200 amp hours of power to my battery bank. So right now I have 4 100 amp hour Renergy lithium batteries, and I really like it. So I work full-time in a remote position for a marketing agency. I do project management on the road. They know that I live in a van. They really support me in living in a van. There's no qualms with that at all. And I feel really lucky to have a remote job that knows how I live and supports me and financially provides for me to be able to live this lifestyle. I live on the road with my dog, and it's just me in the van, which is really fun. It's also really challenging. If you're gonna be on the road by yourself, you have to know how to do a lot of things, and you have to be able to take care of yourself when things go wrong. And I think that's probably the biggest point of growth that I've had while being in the van, is just learning how to fix things and knowing that I can figure it out, and having the confidence in myself that I can fix something myself, find the resources that I need to fix something, or find someone who can help me. A lot of people ask me, like, are you scared traveling alone? And no, the answer is no. I almost am never scared. I think I can count 2 times that I've actually been like fearful on the road, and I've been doing this for over 2 years. Thank you guys for watching my tour of the van. If you want to follow me and see more of my travel, follow my Instagram at Abby B Burger or my TikTok at Abby's Van, and I'll see you on the road.